Drew Barrymore once said, "When I did E.T., it sort of solidified that the only family I know are these film crews, these gypsies, these filmmakers. That was the solidification and the clicking revelations of, this is what I want to do with my life, and this is where I'm going to survive." This is the Producers Lounge podcast. I'm your host, Richard Tucci, and on this week's episode, we have part 2 of our sit-down with Michael Rousselet and Michael Eugene Peter, two of the driving forces behind 5-second films, and they are going to start production soon on their feature Dude Bro Party Massacre 3. We're going to jump right into it. Here now is our sit-down with Michael and Michael here on the Producers Lounge podcast.
I'm making my own culture.
There you go. And on that, on that note, you're making your own culture. You are literally making your own culture with 5-second films.
Yeah, we all are, yeah.
How did that start after Chronicles of a Love?
Well, okay, we're going to go back to USC.
Yeah, go back to USC for the
So, Brian Ferenzi is the creator, the father, the brother, the boss, the bros of 5-second films.
Okay.
I met Brian for the very first time in a screenwriting class. I think it was second semester. And there was like 25 of us, and the first semester they put you in classes. You're not all in the same classes, so there's still some people you don't interact with. Mm-hmm. That's how I met Sandoval, was in another class, and I was like, whoa, who the fuck is this guy? Like, he's got a sharp opinion, and he's bluntly honest. If something isn't good, he'll fucking tell you it sucks, but he'll give you several intellectual reasons why it sucks. And you're like, oh, that's a good point. So,
and he'll probably also make suggestions as to, like, now if you approach it from this way, which is fantastic, because then it's actually constructive criticism, and you're not just being like, this sucks.
Yeah.
I didn't like that part.
So I knew if I could be friends with Eric Sandoval, and if I do something that he likes, I'm like, oh, it actually is good. So that's how I met Sandoval in one of the screenwriting classes. So in the other screenwriting class, the teacher's like, what did you guys do over the break? And, what did you do? Dumb thing. And then he pointed to Brian, and Brian said, oh, I just made some 5-second films with my friends. And I'm like, what? 5-second films? Like, that sounds like the dumbest thing. How could you, what, in 5 seconds? No, that's silly. But then, that was my first impression. But he's like this funny, quiet guy who has this very profound, just, professional voice. Brian Ferenzi's voice is like,
I'm Brian.
It's like Brian the dog, but with a little bit more, Brian the dog from Family Guy. But a little more like, I don't know, sultry, I don't know. But, so I finally saw some of the 5-second films, and I was like, holy shit, I get it. These are gags. And I have hundreds of gags written down. Like, I would just carry a notebook with me all through high school, just writing down dumb jokes or ideas. And I had all these gags. I had no idea where they could ever possibly go. If they were in a movie, it would just be a moment, and then you'd move on. And so I had like 1,000 of them. And I said, I got this idea. I want to shoot them. And so we started shooting some 5-second films, and he would do the Ed Wood Film Festival and do all these 5-second films, and they would kill. And then when we graduated in 2008, Brian came to me and said, I want to do a website, and I just want to do 5-second films, and I want to do it every single fucking day. And I said, Brian, I'd love to help you, but for the love of God, can you just make it 5 days a week? So you could shoot them on the weekend, and 5 is a nice, perfect number for 5-second films. He's like, okay, yeah, all right, that makes sense. So thank God we just did 5 a week. Yeah, because Saturday and Sunday, it's like, this is your day of rest and filming. Yeah. And so, and that was at the house where we lived in Silver Lake, the infamous one where Eric Sandoval dropped a piano on his leg when they were moving in. And this is around the time we started shooting them, just starting to build a backlog before we launched in October. And you were in Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, I was working in Abu Dhabi when you started working.
What were you working in Abu Dhabi on?
I was a production manager on a film finance conference in Abu Dhabi that was all about trying to bring international filmmakers to Abu Dhabi as a location, because they were trying to build a film industry there, as well as educating people in Abu Dhabi that film can be an industry, because at the and probably to a certain degree it still is. If a young person said to their father in Abu Dhabi, "I want to be a filmmaker," that's the same as like, Iowa farmer and his son saying, I want to go to, Tisch dance school. And be like, what the fuck? How are you going to make a living doing dance?
Yeah.
That was not an Iowan accent. I don't know where that came from.
I don't know either.
But it's that kind of like, what? No, that's not a job. Mm-hmm. And so this conference was specifically to like kind of show people of Abu Dhabi like, oh, no. It's a job. It can be a career. It's an industry. Look at all of the money and like opportunities and jobs and skill sets and things that go into it.
Yeah, filmmakers all over the world, and a lot of
and then telling
the Middle
East,
East,
all over the Middle
Turkey,
East,
Syria, Morocco, Egypt, Israel, Palestine, Afghanistan. Like it was awesome. An Iranian filmmaker. Like I met so many cool people, and
and then and I got these guys to come out. To it during the week. Like I was there for 3 months, but Michael Russell and Eric came out the week of the conference. And basically when they came back, they're like, Mike, we have to tell you about this thing, 5-second films. And I was like, you guys are insane. And
what can you do in 5 seconds? Exactly.
And they said, no, trust us, you're going to love it. And I was like, well, let me see. And like, well, we don't have, because they had shot some, or like, they were at very least written some. And like, were describing them to me. And I was like, this is insane. I don't get this. And then they left, and I was still in Abu Dhabi. And then I came back at the end of October, because I remember I was back in time for Halloween. My main goal was to get back in time to vote for Obama.
Oh, wait, okay.
Yes, because I needed to be back on November 4th so I could vote for Obama. Like, that was my thing. I was like, I gotta get back. Because it was too late to do an absentee ballot from Abu Dhabi, I guess. So I was back by Halloween, which was when we launched. And so I was there for, like, the launching of it and, like, that second burst of film. Like, once it became a weekly routine.
Yeah.
But I wasn't there for the pre-shooting, the stuff that you guys shot before the website launched.
So then, Mike, you were there for the pre-shooting. What was that like? Did you set up a formula? What kind of equipment did you have in those early days?
I was following Brian's lead. Because I've shot a bunch before with Brian at USC. So I was basically following Brian's lead. If he would come with a bunch of ideas, like he would show up and say like, I want to shoot this, I want to shoot this, I want to shoot this. I'm like, fuck yeah. And then I started just, verbal diarrhea, just pitching weird ideas. Like I pitched the Changeling. I was like, I don't know. A guy says, hey, can you change a tire? And then the tire turns into a fish.
You did that one?
Yeah. And then
I always assumed that was Brian's joke.
No, and then
that's amazing.
And then Brian added the second punchline, so long sucker, and he turned into a skateboard.
Yeah.
And originally it was a bike, but we didn't have a bike.
And that's honestly the original formula of 5-second films, is somebody pitches a joke, and then somebody else says, that's great, what if we had this?
Yeah.
Because that was the first one that I wrote, was Mr. Forgetful, which I always loved.
We all wrote that.
We all wrote that. I shouldn't say I wrote, because I remember you said...
No, Brian started... Here's how that happened. I was with Brian in the room. You were in the kitchen cooking or something. Yeah. And Brian goes, I just want to do a joke about a guy that says, I have a terrible memory.
And it's called Mr. Forgetful. He says, it's called Mr. Forgetful, and he says, I have a terrible memory.
Yeah, and then he just keeps drooling. Goes, I have a terrible memory. I'm like, well, what if he just gets shot? And then he just says, I have a terrible memory. And then Michael Peter just comes out of the kitchen and he goes, no, he gets shot. And he goes, oh, God, how did this happen?
And it was a literal 1, 2, 3. Like, each one of us brought in an act.
Yeah. And that's one of your most popular ones, too.
Well, from the
first year. Yeah, that was a big... it's a popular one, but we've
I love that one.
Expanded a lot since then.
That was the first one you were in.
That was the first one I was in. That was the one that I was like, nope. 5-second films is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
This is a thing now, and I'm doing it.
Yeah. We were doing it for 5 years.
Yeah.
5 years.
Well, and what kind of made it possible was the fact that we had that house. The way that all of these rambling stories are relevant is that we had that house, which we had all moved in together, so we had a location. And it was a craftsman-style house, so it had all these wood boards, and we could literally be like, I want to make a joke about a private detective in 1947. Awesome. This wall looks like 1947. I want to make a joke about Vietnam War. Awesome. That plantain tree in the backyard looks like Vietnam.
Yeah.
It's like, and we had all of these, we had like 20 locations in one place, and we had tons of gear from Chronicles. Oh, yeah. Because Eric and I had begged, borrowed, and stole, and eventually he got that job at the studio, Line 204, and any time that a crew had a big thing of green screen and they spilled coffee on one tiny corner of it, they were like, well, may as well throw out this entire 16 by 16 green screen fabric. And Eric was like, can I have it? And they're like, yeah, we can't do anything with it. It's got that tiny little stain in the corner. And so we had C-stands, we had light, we had a fucking 1K that someone had just like left on the street.
Oh,
and we were like, operational 1K. We don't say exactly where we
were. No, we said we left that 1K there. We're like, if we're back in an hour and if this 1K that's by this bush is still here, we're taking it.
This bush just outside of Warner Brothers.
Yes. Exactly.
Basically,
yes.
Basically, yes.
It was by a film studio, basically, and it was sitting there. Like it was
close enough to where it belonged that if someone who was responsible had walked past, they'd be like, "Oh, I know who to bring this to get it back to where it belongs." But we were independent filmmakers.
Yeah, we needed that life. And then, and look, we said we'd leave it there. Like, and an hour went by, and we came back, and it was still there. It's like, no.
Shot the thing that we were shooting, came back, the light was still there. It had clearly been forgotten, and we were like,
"We're taking this."
Nice.
Hey, man.
Yeah, so we could make 5-second films because of all those resources.
Yeah.
And now all the stories come together.
And then the garage, Sandoval and you and Ben and who else? You guys turned the whole garage into a green screen studio.
Yeah.
They painted it all black.
I think that was mostly me, Sandoval, and Justin Raths.
Oh, yeah. I was gone. I don't know where I was, but when you guys did that.
Yeah, because I was living with Justin Raths at the time. Who's my friend from high school and who helps us out on a lot of films, and he's like a key gaffer on stuff, and he's just a hard-working, awesome dude. And so anytime that we need to like build flats or like do anything, I'm just like, hey, he's one of my best friends since first grade.
He's a craftsman.
Exactly, and I'm like, Justin, you want to come by, hang out all day, and build stuff?
Drink
and he's
beer.
Like, fuck yeah, I do. And we build flats or we hang, like, he's just, if the house is broken, like he comes over to our house and he sees things that are broken, he's just like, goddamn, you like fix his doors and stuff. It's awesome.
God bless it. Yeah, so that garage that should have cars in it is just filled with film equipment.
Yeah, it's a little studio.
Yeah, it's all our green screen stuff.
What does that feel like to live in such a pulsating environment of creativity?
It's insane. It's overwhelming. It's insane.
Yeah.
It's insane. It is insane.
There's something very beautiful about it, but something also very difficult about it.
There's no peace.
Yeah.
I mean...
Yeah, there's no stop to it.
You escaped. I mean? What's it like,
I had to escape.
He recently moved out, and Mike James moved in. And the thing is, it's like, if anyone moves into that house, they have to be a filmmaker. Because they will lose their fucking mind.
Yeah.
When Tim Ciancio moved in, which was a godsend, out of all the people that could have moved in...
Oh, Tim was the best possible.
So we had 4 people. The economy went to shit. Eric was unemployed. I lost my job,
This
too.
was 2009, I believe.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
So the first 2-3 years you're doing this all while still having day jobs.
We still have day jobs.
Okay.
Yes. Again, I specifically remember because it was 2009 Emmys I had been working, and then I didn't get a job for months after that because the economy crashed. And I was like, whatever, I still make TV. But then I remembered all of television is sponsored by car companies and soda pop. Everything is fucking Pepsi and Chevrolet. And those are the industries that took huge hits, so they were no longer sponsoring shows. There's no more
the soda industry took a huge hit?
Well, yeah, because people weren't spending as much money on frivolous shit, I don't know if the soda industry took a huge hit, but the car industry definitely
Fat
did.
people find a way.
That's
true. There's
nonetheless, there is no more whip bang new reality shows sponsored by Chevrolet.
Yeah, the car industry took a dump.
Yeah. It was they still made the Emmys, but they no longer did random one-off. There was no more the Hot Girls Choice Awards.
Yeah. So we were all unemployed. We needed a 5th roommate, and we were telling people who might move in, you have to understand, we are filmmakers and we film every single fucking week. It's nonstop. No, that sounds cool. No, seriously, we're not fucking around here. Every week this house is taken over. And Tim, who we met through, was it Wolfgang?
Through Wolfgang, yeah.
Tim Ciancio, through the weird connection, he's like, oh, he's the guy that donated the Gorlak costume, which is this huge foam rubber monster costume we used for a 5SF. We're like, that guy donated...
That became a beloved character.
Yeah, and so we're like, okay, let's meet this guy. And he's like, yeah, I'm totally cool filming. I'm a filmmaker myself. I work at E! And we're like... And then he's like, by the way, I have all this film equipment gear. Is it cool if I stash it in the garage? We're like, go on.
He's like, yeah, I got some more lights and some stands and a bunch of microphones. Yeah. And we're like... Yes, our collection builds.
Yeah. And then we were shooting on his camera, his
because we were shooting on the Canon XL2, which was SD, and then he came in with an HD camera.
Yeah.
He had the HVX.
Yeah, and Eric's camera fell down and broke. It was sad.
Yeah.
When we were shooting Do Bro Party Massacre 3 trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Oh, so Tim moved in, and the house was just and he was after the second week, he's like, you guys weren't fucking kidding. You guys are filming all the fucking time. And I think now it's even more intense because everyone comes in to get gear or they're editing, and people come to get footage to download to edit, and the house doesn't.
It's a full-on production company now. That house or studio. Like, it just doesn't stop.
Yeah.
See, this is like my fucking dream life. I want to hang out with you guys.
Yeah, it's nice to... It's like having a baby, and then, it's like being an uncle, and the best part is giving the baby back to the parents.
Yeah.
That's what the house is like. It's like, oh, it sounds like it's so much fun. Yeah, because you don't have to be with it 24/7.
What's the worst part of it?
The worst part of it for me, the thing that finally...
Oh, yeah, what was the last straw?
The last straw that fucking just, like, drove me out, I was just like, I can't do this anymore, was because I had, by this point, had stopped taking award show jobs and was just trying to support myself through 5-second films, Uproxx Video, whatever, like, random hot jobs I get, like, as, like, an editor or whatever.
Or whatever
not
jobs...
taking fucking award show jobs, even though I've taken a couple since, because you gotta make the money.
You gotta make the money.
Sorry, I should have muttered that a little bit closer to the microphone. You gotta make the money. I totally forgot where I was going with this now.
What was the last straw?
Oh, yes, so I would be there all day long. And so I'd be there all day long. Michael Russo would get a bit of news, and he would come up and he would tell me, he'd be like, oh, so-and-so wants to be in a 5-second film. And I'd be like, that's amazing.
Like Patton Oswalt, or who are some of the other stars you've had?
Well, I mean...
Well, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, I can never get tired of hearing that.
Oh, yeah.
But, more something like, oh, this guy from this thing who's really cool wants to be in a 5-second film. Awesome. And then Tim would come home from work, and Russo would say, oh my god, this guy who does this thing wants to be in a 5-second film. And Tim would be like, awesome. And then Ben would come home from work, and then Ben and Tim and Russo would be like, oh, this guy wants to do a 5-second film. And I was like, awesome. And then there'd be that night, and our friends would come over, and then the news would be repeated. And then we would be at a meeting, and then everybody was there, and so we would talk about it again and start doing the planning. And then there's just a small part of me over the years, I was like, God, someday I just yearn to be the person who finds out at the meeting. Or at the end of the day.
Oh, come on, that can't be the last
That
straw.
well, no, it's not the last straw. That's just one of the things that always drove me crazy. It was like hearing things over, and it was just like inundated in your life constantly.
No. I imagine it's the constant people coming in and out. The house is never quiet. The house is a constant mess.
Yeah, you can't constantly... Like,
it's all guys.
Yeah, I would want to write and edit, and I couldn't, like, fucking concentrate and be alone because I was constantly... People were coming to the house, but I was also constantly getting updated. Dude, no, it's fucking annoying.
It is annoying.
If I'm editing and then somebody walks up and starts just talking to me about something, but if I'm in a really shitty mood, I would even take off my headphones and I'd go, "I'm sorry, did my headphones make you think I was listening to you?"
No, I'm telling you, the final straw is the constant messy house, which isn't just like dudes and dishes. I'm talking C-stands, there's lights in there, there's the props, no one brought the wardrobe down,
the living room always has wigs and wardrobe and
it's a mess. And then people bring it downstairs and they throw it in the wardrobe room, which is like an extension of my room. And I would be the one who would try to at least organize. Mm-hmm. I know where everything is pretty much because it's part of my room. But fuck, man, the past, I think the last time I organized it was March, and it just blew up. There's shit everywhere. I can't find anything. So once we're done with this Kickstarter and Streamathon, oh Jesus, we already finished the Streamathon. Yeah. Great. Once we're done with the Kickstarter, I can start cleaning it.
But now it's great because I live 2 blocks away,
okay.
So I can walk over easily anytime that we're shooting, every time that we're meeting. I'm still there every single day, but I get to leave, and I have an office at my new place where I can just sit and type and edit and concentrate for 5 hours uninterrupted, and it's just beautiful.
Now Michael
Peters... And then I read all of my emails and I get all updated, and then I come to the house and I'm like, all right, cool, let's talk about all these awesome things that are happening.
Now Michael Peters is one of those annoying people that show up all the time to get footage, get equipment. It's like, you're one of them.
I don't do. I respect the house.
Yeah, all right.
I give you guys heads up. I don't just show up.
Well, it's fun.
I show up on shoot days.
Oh god, that house is a fucking madhouse. And I'm shocked we haven't been kicked out.
Beer with me too.
Yeah, you're fine. No, you're fine. I'm shocked we have not been kicked out yet. Our neighbors hate us because we're always screaming. Our neighbors know what we do.
They have to.
They walk by, Matt next door or that other dude, Jason. They come by and they're like, "Hey, how's 5SF? I heard you on K-Rock." Like, what? Oh yeah, you're on CNN. Dude.
Oh yeah, our neighbors totally know about 5SF.
How did you? By the way, you totally blew up with. You've got Patton Oswalt and other celebrities in your films. You're on CNN and K-Rock. You've got a deal with Uproxx, which what is that?
Time magazine named us one of the top 50 websites of 2013.
Holy fuck! shits.
Yeah, that was a shock.
That was fun.
Somebody
that was a fun
posted-
email to wake up to.
It was like, oh yeah, I titled it, so guys,
Like the scariest subject. I was like, oh no, who died? And
or
then
like
after
something was stolen. Or,
Yeah.
They didn't even contact you?
No,
Tell
I
you
just
anything?
found it one morning.
A fan posted it on my Facebook wall, and I was like, okay, that's cool. And technically, if you look at the list when you click through, we're number 9, but there's no numbers. I'm doing quotation bunny ears with my fingers. You click through it, like, number 1. There's 50 of them, and technically we were like, quote unquote, number 9.
We were like the 9th click, Like,
Yeah.
Russo was like, we're number 9 on the 50 most important websites.
And Whirly burst my bubble.
Yeah, and he was like, well, they're not really ranked. Like, there's no real numbers.
I was like, shut up, Whirly!
Yeah, Russo's like, fuck you, we're 9 clicks in, we're number 9.
Oh my god. How does it feel to be, like, elevated to this stature? To
It
national
feels
culture?
awesome, but,
Yeah.
I wish
It feels pretty cool.
I didn't have to, worry about my rent.
Yeah.
And I wish we could just be like, okay, hey, we're assigning you this production manager who's going to help you out with all your 5SF planning. You get a maid who's going to clean up the house.
Yeah.
If we could get a real production office where, like, we could live away from it and have a place to go through and create, that would make me feel happy.
Well, and part of the problem of getting recognition as this autonomous, like, production company workforce with everything that we have to just create it is then now everybody who wants to work with us is like, cool, so you guys can just create it, right? And we're like, yeah, can you give us some money first? And they're like, no, just make it and then we'll buy it from you.
Yeah.
Negative pickup deals.
Yeah. But, it feels, it's very validated. And then, like, when the whole thing was
But it is
Vine-
amazing. Yeah, it's amazingly validated.
And when Vine came out, we were
I'm
like...
sorry, Vine?
Vine.
It's a...
Are you being sarcastic?
No, I
Vine.
I'm sorry,
I
the
love
app?
you.
Oh, you're great.
It's a Twitter thing where basically it's called Vine, and with your phone or whatever, you can record a 6-second video.
Yeah. And then you upload it to Twitter.
And then you
it's a
upload it
Vine.
to Twitter. And
Oh,
it's
wait
like,
a minute, I know what this is. My
Yeah.
buddy George has been trying to get me on this for weeks now.
Yeah.
And it's like, but they're 6 seconds long.
Okay.
And so when that came out in February, all of a sudden we got this huge spike in traffic. We're like, whoa, what's going on? Because everyone on the tech blogs was like, oh, Vine, but this is just like 5-second films, but with 1 extra second. And like we got linked, and everyone in the comments like, oh, this is just like 5-second films, but with 1. And everyone's like, hey, did you know Vine did this? And everyone is constantly tweeting us saying 5SF is the original Vine, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very, very
And
validating.
you and Brian got interviewed on CNN about Vine.
Yeah.
And like, as like the creators of 5-second films, like tips to Vine users.
But the funny thing is, he pitched it as a Vine interview to talk about Vine, but we only talked about Vine for like the last like 10, 15 seconds.
Yeah.
And the whole it was like 2 minutes. It was awesome.
Nice.
So that was,
Yeah.
Google could have made it 5 seconds, and they could
And just
have
destroyed
"Fuck
our
you."
website.
But I think they're like, oh, we acknowledge that they exist. And I just found out yesterday
And we got to be judges at the Tribeca Film Festival
Yeah.
as a result as well.
with
'Cause they-
Penny Marshall and
Yeah, because they had a 6-second
Penny
like
was there.
Yeah.
Nice.
yeah,
They had a 6-second like Vine contest, and they contacted us to be
official judges.
judges on
And
it.
Adam Goldberg,
Yes.
Adam Goldberg and Penny Marshall were judges.
We're the other
for us.
judges.
I was told that Instagram is now doing 15-second films where you can get
Oh, yeah.
filters, and you'll put and they'll put filters on it, so you can like hipstagram everything now
Yeah.
and shoot a video. So I'm like, oh, okay, well, whatever. Short content is no one has time anymore.
Yeah.
And they
So now you can make vines that look like 300.
there's an ab filter.
Yeah, that's
Ab-
amazing. An ab filter. So you just like shoot someone and their stomach just goes.
Green,
I have muscles now.
Sparta 2, green screen the movie.
Well, let me ask you. This Uprocks deal is a negative pickup deal for short films for them.
Negative pickup
No,
deal?
no, the Uprocks one isn't.
What do you mean negative pickup?
Oh,
Like paid after the fact.
Oh,
the,
no.
The Uprocks one the Uprocks one was one of the first ones that we did get an upfront
oh, good.
payment, and that's Jarrett Meyer, who is amazing and has really kind of brought us into the Uprocks community and family, and it's fucking great. So a little history on Jarrett. He started Ruckus Records with Mos Def and Talib Kweli which went into like Lyricist Lounge and stuff like that, and that was his background in music. And then he founded Uprocks, this website. And then he co-founded Big Frame, this like video production or video management company that managed like Jenna Marbles and shit. And that's how like he knew like these YouTube vloggers were getting paid buttloads of money, but he hated their content because they're just talking to a camera and being pretty and being like but he loved our stuff, and we had done a couple top 20 compilations for Uprocks because we were all fans and went to the blogs and stuff. And they posted and they got great views and like millions of views, and he hit me up at one point and was like, would you guys want to maybe try to make videos together? So we kept talking about it, and that's how we came upon Uprocks Video, which is now part of the Uprocks community. And every week we put out sketches that are like 2 to 5 minutes long each. At one, like one of the coolest things I ever heard was he was talking to one of his friends who started the Blue Man Group and was telling them about 5-second films. And the guy didn't get it, and he was like, 5-second films? What is that? That can't be anything. And he goes, look, man, you said the exact same thing about Mos Def, and I'm telling you, trust me, these guys are like the Mos Def of internet comedy. Whoa. That's the story they told me. And I was just like, you told the founder of Blue Man Group that I'm like Mos Def? That's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, it was like one of the coolest analogies I've ever heard. It was like us, like, I was like, man, fucking Mos Def, dude. That guy's awesome.
But you are going through the thing where you still have to have day jobs.
Yeah, we don't make a tremendous amount of money from Uprocks. It's still like, but he gave us a little bit up front so we could start shooting stuff, and then we get a little bit of money with every video that we deliver.
Well, the thing is I'm just wondering, like, with everything you're working on, all the videos, and then all the people who are just copycatting, basically Instagram and the Vine and all of this. Have you thought of, what other avenues are there for, not specifically for you guys, but for like internet monetization that you've looked at that maybe work or don't work?
There's no money in the internet at all.
Well, there's lots of money in the internet.
Well, okay, for advertising, but I'm saying like, we have 300,000 subscribers about right now on YouTube. And we have like 1,300 videos. So all those videos are monetized. And I think we pull in not much, maybe like, I don't know, like $1,000 or $2,000
a year.
No, a month. But there's 12 of us.
Yeah, keep that's the thing I
13.
keep in mind. There's 12 of us, and we have 15 of us or something, and we have very high standards. So if we were one person with a laptop that was pulling down at least 2,000-3,000, pulling down those kind of numbers, we would be making that amount of money just for yourself. But also, companies are much more likely to come in and like sponsor you. Like, for instance, a lot of the women who do those like beauty vlogs, where they talk to the camera and then just like, hey, today I'm trying out this, makeup, and no, I really like this one, or oh, this one's not so much for me.
They get paid
companies
so
like
much money.
Revlon will see these if they get enough viewers, and then they'll be like, hey, we will give you all the free makeup plus tons of sponsorship money if you use our makeup
and give it a good review.
Yeah, instead of these other people's makeup. And so, like, there's tons of ways to make money off it. It's just difficult for us sometimes because
we're web comedy.
Yeah, we're very short in length. We're very short in length, so you can't roll a commercial.
No.
There are 15 of us, so they don't really know who to. They're like, whoa, you guys are a huge, intimidating group. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because we're all writers.
Yeah. You don't have an attorney to act as like a point.
Oh, we do have an attorney.
Okay. We have an attorney, but we just like, in terms of like, they're like, who is the leader? And we're like, we're a team. And they're like, but you are also loud and funny and scary.
Yeah. We were approached by one company. I won't say who, but I was really hoping this deal was going to come through. Where they wanted us to write. They were going to animate it. All we had to do was write, and we're like, that's awesome. We can totally do that. We just write and you guys animate it. That's a dream.
Yeah.
But they were hesitant because they're like, well, we can't hire 15 of you. It's like, no, that's fine. Yeah. We will come up with the ideas, and whoever came up with the idea in our group will write that script, send it to them, and we'll invoice you to this person. And they just kind of didn't feel too comfortable, and they were intimidated by us being 15, that they thought it would just be this weird legal issue or something, that they didn't want to pay 15 people, they just wanted to pay 2 or 3.
Yeah. We're like, you could do that if you buy the script and just the 2 writers who wrote that script.
Because we're all responsible amongst ourselves to know who wrote it and who actually didn't write it, that we can
Well, if I may play devil's advocate for a second, why not set up an incorporation for 5-second films, and then you're all shareholders? And then
We are. We have an LLC. We have
Yeah.
5 Second Films LLC, which we're all shareholders in.
Okay.
And that's how we do it with Uprocks as well. It's like they paid the money to 5 Second Films, but I don't know. It just kind of comes down to like a leap of faith in a way. Like you kind of, if like before people give us the money, they have to kind of just have this leap of faith that we're gonna do it. We're gonna be, we're like everyone's gonna be kind of involved and also like get whatever money they deserve. And very few people take that. Jarrett Meyer took that leap of faith. A couple other people have been like, you know what? Yeah.
Well,
here you go.
Yeah, well, like in like some big corporation, Cisco.
Cisco took that leap. I mean, Intel did, but it's a total clusterfuck.
Oh, Intel was a fucking.
I'm so glad that
with you guys.
with us.
Yes, it was bad.
Did they hear as
And
far as
Red Bull.
Do you think I can tell the Intel story?
Yeah, fucking tell the Intel story.
This is amazing.
This is a producer's like nightmare and wet dream after.
Yeah. So we got hired by this ad company to make ads for Intel, which were
Web ads.
which were all about their new processor that we're gonna make it amazing. And we were like, okay, cool. We like sent them some ideas. They came back. They're like, those ideas are hilarious and insane. We don't want to do any of them. We had an idea where
not we as in Intel.
Yeah, Intel or like that knows the ad company.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It wasn't Intel's idea; it was the ad company. The ad company had an idea that you make like a 2001 Space Odyssey parody of when of when he's taking out Hal's chips, and you kind of mimic that scene, but then he puts in a new processor, the new Intel processor, after he takes out the old chips. And all of a sudden, Hal is like this. The Hal computer is just like an amazing machine.
And he's got a different voice. Like it's like, hey, it's super cool.
Hey, all right. I'm not like creepy Hal voice anymore. I'm cool.
Yeah.
And so we wrote this script, and we love and adore 2001 and Stanley Kubrick and everything that he's done. And so we are very faithful in like homage and pastiche, but we change a lot as well, and like kind of like drew like
to have
different
fun. Like we didn't want to
fun.
copy it because it's like we're just gonna have fun with it.
Yeah, and we also like we didn't, we kind of like wrote new dialogue that like called back to it, but wasn't the dialogue from the movie. And their response was basically like, no, like do like a shot for shot recreation of it. Sent us fucking still frames
of the movie. It's like I know
from the movie.
I know what the movie looks like.
Yeah.
I know,
and it was basically like take Hal's speech, take out the words spaceship, and put in the words Intel computer processor. Was basically what they wanted.
I hope they're paying something to.
They're
paying us for
so
this.
we
So
shot
just why we're-
Stanley Kubrick's estate as well.
Well,
which is why we're
get to that.
which is why we're putting up with this shit.
So we shot it at Brian's apartment, and two of the ad people were there.
And
to supervise and do like make sure it's like this, and then there was
Shoot.
re-editing.
If you never shoot with a fucking ad company representative on your
Like
set.
being there, it was a nightmare. Oh, don't have red cups, have blue cups, because red cups mean alcohol. Like a red the party cups.
Yeah.
So
They
they shot it, and it didn't really work out. And then they had to do a re-edit with.
Well, yeah, we did
the
our
Skype.
initial edit, and and it was just shit. Like the entire thing, we're just watching. We're like, this commercial's fucking shit. It's a total 2001 just like rip off, not even in a cool way.
It's fucking awful.
And it was terrible. And then they didn't like the first cut, so Brian then had to set up a Skype like webcam situation where he was editing and they could see over his shoulder and were dictating over this. They're like, okay, no, try putting this shot next to that shot, and he'd do it and replay it, and they'd be like, no, and like we're fucking editing with him via Skype. It was insane.
And they were on the East Coast, so he had to wake up earlier, I think, to do that. So anyway,
I can't hear, but my mouth is literally dropped.
Yeah, he had to get up at like 5 a.m. So we go through all this. They finally sign off on it. We get like half of our money. We're gonna get the rest, like once we invoice them the next amount, and they get back to us and they're like, hey.
No, they send it to Intel and Intel's legal department.
Yeah, they send it to Intel, and then Intel, of course, obviously forwards it to the legal department, and the legal department is like, there is no way in hell that we can put like why, and the Intel, the company was like, why didn't you change anything? Why didn't you copy it? Like you literally copied it shot for shot, dialogue for dialogue. You just ripped it off, and we're like, "That's what we said." So the ad never saw the light of day.
Thank
it's
God.
never been posted. It's never gotten up. They're not allowed to put it anywhere, and we still got paid for it.
Yeah.
And with that money, we bought some Kino lights.
That's
and those
right.
Kinos changed everything. Our productions look so much better now that we have that Kino set.
Actually.
So sell out as early as possible.
Actually, the Kino kit was bought with the money from CourseSmart.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
right.
I love those commercials. They took them offline. I can't find them.
How are
Alright.
you? How are you finding these?
They come to us.
They come to you through 5-second
They
film?
send us an email saying, "Hey, 5 second films, we love what you do." And some of them have been a joy. Like CourseSmart was a lot of fun.
CourseSmart was fun. The college in Canada.
Oh yeah.
There's this college in Canada that wanted us to shoot orientation videos for their freshmen.
St. Lawrence.
St. Lawrence, I
Oh,
think.
so
And
much
do you shoot
fun.
them straight, or do you have the humor that 5-second?
Oh,
films
The humor in the 5 second films, they were amazing.
Yeah.
They were so much fun. Like there's one where he's like making a speech to all the freshmen, and he's like, okay, so you get your dorms and all this thing, and everybody gets their own personal jetpack, and then it just cut to all of these people like,
knowledge is awesome.
yeah, knowledge is awesome, and they were funny and they were great. We had a great time making them, and we got paid. Well, we got paid well.
Yeah,
for that
they let
one.
us do whatever. We wrote scripts that were
Yeah.
insane, and they just said these are hilarious.
Yeah,
And
they were like a liberal arts college in Canada, and we're like,
so cool.
that was like, because I don't really like doing the commercial things. I was like, but then this like, this fucking college, liberal arts college in Canada is like, you guys want to shoot? And I was like, fuck yeah, I'll shoot some orientation videos for liberal arts college. That sounds great.
It was so fun. Like Red Bull was another nightmare.
Yeah.
Well, the Red Bull was real. Well, the Intel one was the biggest one, but Red Bull was really annoying because they said you can do whatever you want, and we're like, awesome. So we made a giant anthropomorphic Red Bull can, like a big can that one of the actors gets in. The arms are cut out, so you stick his arm through. We put like cartoony muscle arms and big cartoony like Mickey Mouse hands,
Okay.
and it was hilarious. Like
It was amazing.
it was really funny. We shot all this shit with this Red Bull can. One of them was my favorite, where the Red Bull can is like working out, like lifting dumbbells in a gym, and then somebody walks by and goes, "Hey, looking good, Red Bull." And this guy has a little Red Bull can, and he opens up the Red Bull can while he's saying, "Hey, you look great, Red Bull." And then the giant can starts freaking out and goes,
drops the weights.
and then someone escorts the guy away. It's like, dude, you can't open Red Bull cans around him. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. And then, escorts him away while these hot women try to calm down this giant Red Bull can.
Yeah.
Some funny shit. And then we sent them to Red Bull, and they're like, whoa, no giant anthropomorphic Red Bull cans.
Yeah, they're like, that's the one rule at Red Bull, is you don't make giant anthropomorphic
Oh my
Red Bull
God.
cans.
And we're like, you said we could do anything. I even think we sent them ideas.
Yeah, I think so. I think what it is a lot of these people, their assistants and interns love 5-second films and pass that up to their bosses, and their bosses don't look at anything. And they're like, yeah, sure, let's reach out to these guys. And then we write and direct and shoot and send stuff, and they're like, whoa, wait, these are fucking crazy. We can't use these to sponsor our company.
Yeah.
You just shot a baby. What?
Yeah. So that was really annoying because we had to reshoot everything, and now we have this giant Red Bull can and a prop at the house. We don't know. It's filled with spiders.
Ooh. I was gonna ask if I could borrow it for a weekend, but if it's filled with spiders, never mind.
Well, but we want to turn that into a beer can. And so we can do that. So we're going to turn it into a beer can, like walking by a liquor store, and this kid goes, "Hey, beer can, can you go buy us beer?" And the beer can goes, "You kids are too young to be drinking alcohol." And then the kids just knock him over, and he falls down, and beer spills out. And he goes, "Oh, my brains!" And they just start drinking it.
If I may, since you've already got a prop, you might as well just put together a proposal, send it to every soda and alcohol company in America.
Yeah, seriously.
And then just, hey.
I do have one idea I've been wanting to shoot forever. I was going to shoot it 20 different ways. It's like a guy dressed up in a liver costume, and it's all dramatic lighting, just a lighting coming down like a PSA, and it's a guy in a liver costume goes, "Hey, it's me, your liver. I just want you to know that every time you drink, make it Miller Lite!" And he pulls up a beer can. I was going to do one for every beer and just send it to them saying, "Hey, we can do this," whatever. But it's kind of a nightmare dealing with corporate people. But yeah, I mean, everything else has been all right. Touch and go, the usual annoyance. But the nightmare was the Intel one, and Red Bull was frustrating. It's just always get everything in writing, get paid first, have everything in writing.
Yeah.
Just get paid. You don't fucking do anything until the contract's signed and the agreements are...
All right, in that case, let's wrap it up. Let me ask about Dude Bro Party Massacre 3.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Woo, Dude Bro Party Massacre 3!
Oh my god, I can't wait for this movie. So Dude Bro Party Massacre 3 is based on a 5-second film that John Worley came up with. I think it was John Worley and Sandoval. They keep saying I was at this screening for Slumber Party Massacre and Black Friday, but I don't really remember it too well. Maybe I was. I have a terrible memory. But
Yes, Mr. Forgetful.
Don't shoot him in the knee.
Yeah, don't.
We need him.
Yeah, you can shoot me in the knee. It's just a mortal wound. It is not a significant bullet. So it was Worley who came up with the idea of
Just a mortal wound? That means you die. I think you meant flesh wound.
flesh wound. Oops.
Oh, it's just a mortal wound. As he bleeds out and dies on the couch.
Don't worry, I'm fine.
Hey, not on this couch.
Not
It's
on this
micro
couch.
suede.
That's true.
Micro swing. All right, so Worley came up with this idea about instead of the women being objectified and killed by a crazy sexual deprived male, it is now the men who are being objectified and sexualized, and it's a female killer, a sexy female killer who's the monster, and how the men are actually terrified of women in a certain aspect, and so we shot a 5-second film called Dubrow Party Massacre 3 in like 2009 around Halloween.
Yeah.
And then, it was fun. We thought it was really goofy. And then about a year later, we're like, we should make longer content. Let's shoot a joke trailer. Well, what would be a really funny one to do? Well, we already shot. We were trying to pull back from the catalog that we already had. And like, Dubrow Party Massacre 3 actually is a mini trailer in 5 seconds. Let's just make that into a 1.5-minute trailer. And we even used some of the footage from the 5-second film. Mm-hmm. And so we shot this whole trailer, and it was a lot of fun. We never thought we would ever make it into a real movie. We just did it as a goof. And then, like, last year, we were like, let's make a fucking film. Let's do this.
Well, because we decided to bring 5-second films, the daily production of 5-second films, to an end.
On Halloween.
As of this coming and Halloween, which will be our 5-year anniversary.
So 5 years of 5-second films,
5 days a week. Five.
$5 for
Yeah,
one.
but at the same time, a lot of stuff had kind of been going really good for us, and we're like, well, we don't want to be doing this, and then the end of 5 years we end it, and we're just standing there like, what do we do next? Mm-hmm. So that's why we started, that's why Uproxx Video got set up, because that's going to continue going after 5SF, and that's when we decided to make a feature-length film as well.
Yeah. So a couple ideas were brought up, but the one that really stuck, that everyone was really excited for, and really spoke to the 5SF fan base, was Dubrow Party Massacre 3. Like, we already shot the trailer, so people can see kind of what we're doing.
Yeah.
But and so we decided to do that, and we wrote the script, and how the screenwriting process went was hilarious.
This is amazing.
This is so great. We all got together as the group, all the core writers who wanted to write this, and we all wrote kind of a pretty solid synopsis, a vague outline, a detailed character sheet, kind of like what beats need to happen.
You're 10 central characters, and just kind of a general, this scene leads to this scene, which leads to this scene type of,
But a lot, still gaps.
Yeah, still gaps. But
it's very well structured from the sound of it.
Yeah.
It was, it was structured just so that, people would know where they're going when we did this next.
And it's still first act, second act, third act. This is how the movie resolves, and this is where the character ends up, who dies.
And, this is who dies and how they die. That was a big part, because we had to figure out, because each character is killed by their death, or by their fear.
Yeah.
Oh.
So once we knew what every single character was afraid of, we had to be like, okay, now how do we kill these people? Actually, it was more the other way around. How do we want to kill these people in a hilarious fashion? Okay, that means that their fear is puppies?
That was, I can't wait. I'm not even going to tell, I can't tell you how. I'm not going to say how this dies, but a guy is, the murder involves a bunch of adorable puppies, and it's the funniest, I think it's the funniest scene in the whole movie, and I can't wait to shoot this. But we're not going to tell you, because you just have to see it. And so,
which is why you should go to our Kickstarter and donate so that we can make it.
Hopefully this
we're making it.
Hopefully this comes up before the next 8 days. Anyway, okay.
Mini-sode.
So we broke it up in scene numbers. We made scene numbers, and we randomly gave them to everybody who was a writer, and said, okay, you get scene 1, 7, 25, 53. You get scene 8, 22, blah blah.
Yeah. And no one was allowed to talk to one another about what they were writing once we divvied everything up.
So no one knew what came before their scene and where their scene was going. So
and you didn't get to read anyone else's voice, the voice that you were giving to. We had character breakdowns. We knew what they were about, but whatever weird things that they said that you chose as a writer, you had no idea what other people were doing.
Yeah. So my scene, one of the scenes I wrote was there was a murder I knew there was a murder that happened before. and like it's all the bros hanging out, and I was like, well, fuck it, I'm just gonna add like a weird memory flashback moment.
Yeah.
And
yeah, and like I remember a scene where I had a line in there like, just like old times, bro.
Exactly.
And then someone I didn't know had written a scene 3 scenes earlier where those two characters met for the first time.
Yeah.
And like introduced to one another, and then like without knowing that, I just heard like, just like old times, bro.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and I wrote a line like, "Hey man, stop! You've been on my case since day one." And like this character hasn't. He's just been
not at all
pretty nice, and then apparently he had a problem in this scene for no reason. Like an argument just exploded. So anyway, Michael Peter then got all the scripts that we all wrote, all the pieces, and then he put it in a linear fashion while he's like giggling over in the corner, going. Like, what are you giggling at? Oh, you'll see.
Oh, you'll see. You'll see.
And then we did a table read, and it was insane. It actually surprisingly held together.
It worked. There was a couple times, like there's one moment where there was 4 scenes in a row that every single one started with a group of 4 to 5 of the bros entering the house, but they were always like 50% different. It was like Brock, Samsy, and Spike enter the house, and then the next scene. Brock, Spike, and
like TBD.
Yeah, TBD enter the house. And like everyone they enter the house was always like Brock was always there because he's kind of the protagonist. Yeah. But there's always like different supporting bros entering the house with him 3 scenes in a row. Yeah. They're like, okay, that continuity error is a bit too much. We gotta fix that.
So the reason why we did that is because we wanted it to have a B movie, like 1980s campy slasher film that just didn't really, it tried to be a great movie, but it was a bad movie. Mm-hmm. But it's really hard to just make a bad movie intentionally. Like you have to be sincere about it or put like a weird obstacle. And so the obstacle was like, well, let's just write it blindly. And so it does have this weird disjointed feeling, but it still connects. And we've done several rewrites to smooth it out and to condense it. Mike puts it best that we took every rule and advice about an indie film, that everything you should not do, and just shat on it.
Everything that I learned before making Chronicles, we were thrown out the window. There's so many fucking characters. Like the principal rule, like this industry was built on a single location with 5 characters being killed. That's why Sorority House Massacre is so cheap, because all of the characters are in one location. Kill them off, you're good. And we're like, no, we're 5-second films. We have like 74 speaking roles.
They did a budget
They're all
breakdown.
in different locations, like all over the fucking place. I think well over 100 locations. Because it's just insane. I mean, it's like Kentucky Fried Chicken or Kentucky Fried Movie style of
there's
like
a plane crash. There's a giant like lake with underwater city.
There's
where
an
all
underwater
these bodies
city
are.
filled with thousands of dead bodies.
That's my favorite.
I can't wait for that.
I can't wait. Oh, yeah,
that's my favorite scene in the entire film.
Yes, mine too. I fought so hard to keep that.
Tom wanted to cut it.
I was like, nope, no way.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
And so you're directing it?
I'm producing it.
You're producing it.
I'm one of the directors. We're kind of.
So it's a multi-director.
It's
piece.
kind of like, well, with 5-second films, there's not really one director. It's kind of like if you have the idea for a 5-second film, you're basically the director, unless you can just pass it off to somebody else. But it's still collaborative. Like everyone throws in ideas and everything. So we knew it just couldn't just be one person because it's. Tom Jacobson and John Salmon and I are like the main directors for the actual like whole meat of the film, and then Joey Scoma is directing the kill montage, which is basically the first 5 minutes of the film, and it's kind of getting you up to speed for Duper Party 1 and 2.
It's all a montage of. I think the easiest way to break it down is so Mike Russell, Tom Jacobson, John Salmon are directing Dude Bro Party Massacre 3. Joey Scoma is directing all of the scenes that took place in Dude Bro Party Massacre 1 and 2.
Which don't exist.
But there's flashbacks to them during the movie.
Smart.
And then the entire mythology of this film is that the director went insane and there was this huge studio fire and all of the footage was lost. And they thought it was lost to the pages of filmmaking history until one day someone went to a garage sale and they found a VHS tape that a teenager in Minnesota recorded on a late night movie broadcast that showed Dude Bro Party Massacre 3 like before all of the footage was lost. So when you're watching the movie, you're actually watching this late night movie. Like there's a film historian who introduces the piece, and then a late night movie host from the late night channel, and there's like snippets of commercials as this kid was pausing and recording his VCR as it went. And Tim Ciancio is directing all of the television segments. Like he's directing the like TV studio host who's going to like introduce the film.
Yeah.
This is either going to be a masterpiece in the Criterion Collection in 5 or 10 years?
It's a Broterian collection.
It's Broterian collection.
We have a Broterian collection.
Oh my god.
We are hoping it will be a masterpiece.
Yeah. The movie starts 3 times.
There you go.
It's great.
Yeah.
I can't. And also,
Dave Gare, who's helping us produce it, like he read it, and he was like, "It's like you took every single rule of what you shouldn't do in a film,
in a script,
in a script, like every single like writing rule, and you just broke them, but you broke them all so perfectly that it works and it's brilliant."
Yeah.
It's like, had you left a single thing unbroken, it would be like, oh, God, this movie's terrible.
Movie.
You know, but it's like, no, you broke every single thing in the China shop. You know, it's like everything is broken.
That it's hilarious. Yeah, and so we sent this script out to studio people, like real executive development. I won't say who and where because I still want to maintain these relationships.
Yeah, I still want to make movies with them eventually.
But these are like real people. Are like, we love 5-second films. Any script you guys are doing, we want to read it. And like, okay, here you go.
And we even mentioned this project to them, and they're like, "Yeah, I'm into it.
Oh
Let's
yeah,
hear
they
it."
saw the trailer.
Well,
and
they always say that.
Yeah, exactly.
and they were into it. They said, yeah, the trailer was like,
Yeah.
we can't
They're
wait.
like, the horror genre is a very profitable genre. You know,
Yeah,
even
yeah.
if it goes straight to DVD, you're guaranteed to make your money back.
Everyone who read it either said, I don't fucking get this. I'm sorry, this isn't for us. What is going on? Or like,
Or there's just no response.
don't talk to me.
Yeah.
But all their assistants, and this is the funny part, because anytime you send, you guys know this, every time you send a script to a higher up, usually it's the assistant who reads it first, and then based on the assistant's recommendations, the higher up either reads it or they don't. Every one of the assistants read it because they're like, 20 to 25, 30, and they're like, this is hilarious, you should read this, boss. Boss reads it, what the fuck is this? They don't get it. And most of the assistants are telling me, they're like, this is really funny, and we think everyone over the age of 40 just doesn't get this. Because we're making fun of a very specific niche genre of bad cinema, and it's a slasher film, and we're taking all these... It's not like a spoof, because a spoof...
A spoof
It's
is
not
a spoof.
It's not a spoof.
A spoof relates specifically to one or multiple films like Scary Movie,
It is
whereas
not
this
Scary
is a
Movie.
take on an entire genre. It's more of a meta Dan Harmon
exactly.
take on it.
It is. Like, Dubrow Party Massacre 3 is a horror film.
It's a comedy first.
It is, yeah.
But it's a horror film. It's
but it's like, it is a horror film that was made in 1980 something.
And it's so bad.
And we just happen to be the
funny.
men who are bringing it to you.
And it's funny.
Now in the future.
It's true, because it's trying very hard to be a scary movie, but there are going to just be so many elements that are just going to make you laugh.
Yeah.
Because it's supposed to be a tongue-in-cheek bad movie. It's a movie for filmmakers who love films.
Okay.
And 80s horror films.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Kickstarter.
Okay.
What did you do to... Where are you right now? You got 8 days left.
141,000.
Yeah.
And we have 8 days left to get 60,000. We've done a lot of research before we jumped into the Kickstarter. We spoke to so many people. James Ashby from Saturday Morning Breakfast Cereal, who's run several successful Kickstarter campaigns. Freddie Wong and Brandon Latch.
Yeah, and
Matt.
From Video Game High School. And the guys from
Matt
Cyanide
Arnold.
Happiness.
Cyanide Happiness, yeah. And we're like, what should we do? And we learned from them their advice.
We learned from them, and we also looked at like their numbers. We looked at people who are about our size in terms of viewership, subscribers, stuff like that. How many views they got, and then how much money they asked for, and how much money they got. You know, like Cyanide and Happiness asked for $150,000, but they ended up raising like $800,000. But it's also like theirs is like animation. You know what I mean? Like but their home site, like which started off as webcomics only, not like video, has a way bigger following than
They're
ours.
probably
So
like 30 million views a month.
Yeah, so it was all kind of, we had kind of like put it into perspective a little bit, be like, okay, we're not going to raise $800,000 the way that these guys did because their viewership is like way bigger. But we might have, and everyone really felt that we had a dedicated enough fan base, and like with what we needed, like $200,000 is kind of like, because we're still intending on like, we're still bringing our own resources and money into this. It's just like, in terms of Kickstarter, so that we have a sizable amount of money that we can be like, yes, we can like really do what we want. We can make that underwater city. We can, have all the prosthetics to rip people's heads off and pay the makeup artist, because, as much as we're willing to do this out of passion, lots of times, like, a
lot of people got to pay rent.
Exactly. Yeah. Everyone has to pay rent. And, like, a lot of those technical positions, like, if it's an issue between working on something that you like and where you're your friend versus turning down a job that day that's going to pay you
$750
exactly.
per day. Yeah.
A lot of people, which you have to understand, will say,
can't afford to do that.
guys, I'm sorry, I really want to help you out, but I got offered this job and I got to take it. You know?
And you're going to do it SAG ultra low budget? Or?
We're actually going SAG new media deal.
Oh, okay.
Because it's...
Which is what goes in the distribution in a little bit, but we're going new media.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it will be SAG, yes, because we have SAG actors in 5SF, and obviously Patton, Oswalt, and Peter Stormare, and all of these people who want to be in it.
What are some of the
SAG.
best tips you got about setting up Kickstarter? Because I heard the bulk of your funds come the first week and then the last week.
Yes, that was the number one thing that we got, which was you get a huge spike in the beginning, and then kind of nothing, and then a huge spike at the end. So when we planned out our Kickstarter, we planned out to have, basically like stunts and events going on the entire time, which is where the live streamathon idea came in.
4-hour-long streamathon.
And so it's like, so we specifically structured it so we had kind of this initial huge burst. We made these kind of polished videos, and then the second week, we started showing these kind of more like personal, confessional, like us talking to the camera, being like, hey, I'm so-and-so from the group, and this is why I'm passionate about this project. And then in this now third week, we did the big live streamathon stunt, which like brought in like $15K. It
brought in $17,000 in 24 hours.
Yeah.
So we got $10,000 just straight from the actual 4 live stream, and then we posted that on our website so people in Europe could see it.
Yeah, and now over the next of this last week, because we now have 8 days left.
8 days left.
We're gonna dole out the highlights from that show to kind of because not everyone's gonna be like, Jesus Christ, a 4.5 hour.
Yeah, I'm not gonna watch this. 5-second film,
but like
to
we
5-hour film.
Yeah, but there's like an amazing interview with James Ashby, and so like we take that James Ashby from Saturday Morning Breakfast Cereal, who is great with Kickstarter. So we take that little interview, release that so people can just watch that.
And there are some sketches.
And there's sketches and stand-up comedy and musical performances. We dole those out. And it's also our last week, so we're Facebooking and tweeting and going mad. And everyone gets to see, 8 days left. Shit. 6 days left. 4 days left.
And we're really pushing it on our YouTube audience because we have 300,000 subscribers. And that's how can we get a hold of these people? It's like we have to hit their inboxes with new videos. So we have to constantly remind them, like, these videos are coming out.
Yeah.
So I think 30% of our funds have come from YouTube. And then like 28% has come from Facebook, from our friends and fans. And then it's like 16% from Twitter.
Yeah.
And
we got lots of shout-outs when it initially started. Like, we tried to contact everyone who kind of had been good to us. Entertainment Weekly did a write-up on us. New Media Rockstars did a write-up on us.
MTV.
Uprocks featured it. MTV Blogs did a write-up. There's a lot of cool online press. Yeah, Cracked. We have a video up right now, and they did a scan on Cracked to support it.
And these are people that have just covered you in the past.
Yeah, they're friends and people that like our work and
either press people who like us or friends who happen to have jobs at Press Junkets.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And then some of the advice we got about the Kickstarter is basically a lot of your prizes should be from the $5 to $50. You should have a bunch of prizes from $5 to $50 because a lot of your fans, probably won't be able to spend more than $50.
Yeah.
And
the other thing that they kept in mind was like, but don't be so quick to mail stuff because you have shipping costs.
Yeah.
So basically, everything on ours from like $1 to $50 or something around 40 maybe is all downloads, like digital downloads of the years of 5-second films, of the Dude Bro Party Massacre itself,
the artwork,
of the posters, of behind the scenes,
the documentary,
utilizing your already existing library of content.
Exactly. Yes. And then once we go past $50, I believe. I don't have it right in front of me, but it's around that area. That's when we start mailing you the posters and mailing you the DVDs and mailing you the Blu-rays, and it's still a lot of the same stuff.
Okay.
You can still have all 5 years worth of 5-second films. You can have the Broterian collection of Dude Bro Party Massacre 3, which includes, we taped that initial table read. You're going to get a cut down 2.5 hour version of the streamathon. You're going to get fucking hours and hours worth of content. And some tiers you download it directly, and some tiers we actually mail it to you, and it comes in a cool case. And some tiers above that we sign them, Okay. And then we have our angel kind of the people who are really down to throw 2,000. Once you get up to that larger amount of money, it's well, for $2,000 you can be a co-producer on the film, which is what Patton Oswalt.
Yeah.
Oh, and you get to be in it.
You get to be in it for a certain
Yeah. So that was how we guaranteed Patton Oswalt could be in it, because he paid us to be in it.
Wow.
So I don't know if we can actually legally pay him.
I don't think we can. I will have to look into the legal genuineness of it, but I don't think we're allowed to pay him to be in it because it's like a reward on Kickstarter.
You can't
there might be some like weird legal issue.
You are not allowed to give money as a reward.
Yeah.
I don't
yeah. Oh, yeah. That was the thing because one of them was we were going to
for $600 you get a $300 gift card to Sizzler.
Yes, that was one of our prizes. For $600, we'll buy you a $300 gift card to Sizzler.
Freddie Wrong said, "This is funny, but no, you can't do that."
Yeah, like it's against the rules. You cannot offer payment as a prize. Yeah. So I don't think we can pay Patton.
We'll have to. Yeah, we'll see about that. But we're
I hope Patton's lawyers don't listen to this podcast.
I can't wait for Patton to be in it. But yeah,
it's gonna be amazing.
So yeah, and then you add little more prizes and rewards as the Kickstarter goes through. So we added rewards for $5, which is one of the lowest rewards. You get your name in the credits. That's it. Special thanks. But we said, hey, for $5 now, you all get year one download.
Yeah. So everyone who just did kind of because Kickstarter is a $1 minimum.
Right.
And a lot of people were just like, well, I'll just give you $1. They didn't get any prizes, but they're like, oh, here's $1.
And they upped it to $5.
Yeah, and they're like, ooh.
So we're like, okay, well now year 2, $10. Everyone who uses $5 upped it to $10. And then we just said, you know what, fuck it, for $25, $5, you can get the entire 5-second film collection. And then instantly, I think we've got like 200 people now.
Everybody jumped from 10 to 25 like immediately.
Yeah.
And now that we announced during the Streamathon that for $80 we'll give you can get a DVD that we'll send to you and everyone will sign it. And now those are selling out like hotcakes.
A DVD of 5-second films.
A DVD of all of 5-second films, yes. Every single 5-second film.
But we're not giving you can only get a signed DVD. We're not giving out any other DVD. So you either want the DVD and it's gonna be signed, or you just get the digital download. All right. So we just added that price, and then Brian just added this crazy.
Well, above tiers will get the DVD. It just won't be signed. You know what I mean? Like if someone gave us $500, they're still getting the DVD.
Okay.
But it's only the people who bought that exclusive because we limited it. You know, so that anyone who bought those exclusive, like we're only signing 100. You know?
Okay.
And so if you bought that exclusive prize, because a lot of people who had upper tiers were like, wait, I don't get 5-second films. The people who donated $80 get 5-second films, and I don't.
Oh yeah.
So we're like, oh no, it's cool, brother. We'll send you the films too. We're already mailing you a Dude Bro DVD. We'll mail you the 5SF DVD as well. But the people who are watching the Streamathon and like hopped on it quick and get the limited one, they get like the autographed by everybody. You know, we pull out the sleeve and sign it with the silver Sharpie and slip it back in and mail it to you.
And Brian and then offering stretch goals, just trying to make it more exciting.
Yeah.
And
yes, Brian dropped a nice stretch goal at the Streamathon.
Was it $225,000?
Yes.
What?
So for $225,000. Our goal is $200,000, but if we exceed that to $225,000, we will continue production of 5-second films for 55 more days, all the way up to Christmas.
Yeah.
So we were gonna end in October of Halloween, our 5-year anniversary. But if we make that goal, we will continue production through Christmas.
That's quite the incentive.
It is quite the incentive because a lot of fans are freaking out.
That's if you can make it as a whole, not if one person donates $225,000.
No, we just need. Yeah, we need to get.
Well, if one person donated $225,000, then we would have hit that. In fact, we would exceed that.
All right. I'll call Penny Marshall.
Yeah, please do.
But okay, so that's Kickstarter.
Yes.
Distribution. You said you're going for the new media deal?
Yes, we're doing the new media deal, which basically because of our history and fan base as an internet production company, you know, that's where we're known, that's where our fan base is, and we have a younger audience who honestly, they don't have TV and they don't go to movies as much. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of their entertainment is right there online. And especially with like things that like Louis C.K. is doing with like $5 digital downloads and a lot of film distribution will have like kind of a VOD. I think it's called like VOD Ultraviolet, where it'll be it's like what Tim and Eric's movie did and what VHS just did, where it's VOD for like a month before it goes into theaters, and a lot of those films will make like $1 million on just direct.
I think
download.
Red State with Kevin Smith also.
Yes, Red State did that as well.
Yeah.
And it's becoming a really good
business model.
Yeah, business model. Thank you. And the only thing with because everyone was like, well, we want to like eventually like have this at like I'm sure this could be a yearly Comedy Central Halloween midnight broadcast.
Yeah.
But in the new media deal, it says that you can still do television broadcasts and like all that other stuff and the SAG actors will get paid their normal residuals as long as it is like created initially for digital distribution.
Gotcha.
So as long as we stick with some sort of like, we can still do theaters, we can still do TV, and we can still do all this, but as long as it like has some sort of video on demand, $5 digital, like if we self-distribute, you know, like digital download that people can buy, as long as that's like its initial kind of format.
And is there a time frame for digital availability before it hits theaters?
Well, that kind of depends on some of the people that we end up doing distribution with,
Gotcha.
or if we distribute it ourselves. Like we're like meeting with people right now.
No, I mean according to the SAG contract.
Oh.
Like a minimum amount of time.
No.
Okay.
No, not really. Is the only thing that's set is as long as it is. I think it's less. As long as your budget, it doesn't have the tiers. You know the way that the theatrical does. Their only tier is as long as your total budget adds up to less than, like, I think $2,000 or $2,500 per minute. And I did the math. That means that for Dude Bro, if we had $1 million budget, then our pay scales would all have to go up. But right now, because our total budget is going to be under $1 million easily, we can pay all of the SAG actors whatever we want, as long as we stay within California state labor laws. So like literally like, you know, like Kelsey and Olivia won't, because they're both SAG actors, and we didn't want to get them to like run afoul of SAG. But they're also part of the company, and like they wanted to make this with us. You know what I mean?
We can't make it without them.
We can't make it without them. But we're not like, we don't have to pay them the outrageous amounts that SAG makes you pay actors, you know, like for a budget of this size.
Right.
You know, we can pay them like, we're still gonna pay them fair day rate. You know.
They gotta live.
They gotta live, and they gotta pay their rent, just like everybody else.
There you
know what
go.
I mean? That's why SAG exists, you know, to protect them to a certain degree. But at the same time, we don't have to break our budget. Our initial like SAG budget was like,
it was just $200,000 just to pay.
Yeah, it was like over $200,000
to pay everybody the proper.
Yeah. At one level, it was $170,000, which did not make us, which did not leave us enough left over to make the rest of the movie and get locations and post production and all that. So then we jumped up to modified theatrical, which is everything above $200,000 to $1 million, and that one you had to pay actors $500 a day, I think, which brought our cast budget up to like $380,000. And with modified, you couldn't have non-union. So all of the guys in 5-second films who are playing all the dude bros who are not professional actors, so they're not in SAG, would all have to get Taft-Hartley'd, which would cost us a few $1,000s per person. And if we film it at a lake outside of the Los Angeles studio circle, which we'll probably have to do because how many lakes with a cabin next to it is in this? Well, we're going to go fucking Lake Balboa, you know? Like, that's not going to work. It's not going to work. And so we're going to have to pay them travel fees and per diem and stuff like that. Like, if we go to Big Bear to shoot, on that, you know, we now don't have to do that because we're going new media. Right. But under modified, we would have had to like shell out way more money to every SAG actor.
I mean, we're still going to take care of them.
Yeah,
you know, gas money, and like we're going to feed them and house them. But it's
not. It's
going to
be more an independent. It would be a more traditional like independent film where everyone's kind of in it to
because
win it
they want to
because they want to be there. And not because they're getting paid lucrative amounts of money.
And we're making it worth their while so they can take a month off of work.
Yeah.
Because, like, hey, don't worry, you're not going to, you know, go hungry. You'll still be able to make rent, and you're going to make an amazing feature film.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Do you have a location set yet for the cabin?
No.
We do not. We've got a couple feelers out.
Email me, because I may know a guy who knows a guy. Very Italian.
I love guys who know guys.
Yeah. But no, he's got a friend up that has a whole, like... If it's still available, he's got a friend who has a whole Central California like cabin destination resort.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
So
now this cabin, I know when you think of horror movie by the lake and in the woods, a cabin, you think the Evil Dead type cabin where it's all scary and wood, like made out of wood. This is actually funny because it's an old sorority house by the lake, so it's actually not really dilapidated. It's actually kind of a nice house.
So yeah, imagine like in a horror movie when they say we're going to our cabin by the lake. It's all shitty. No. Imagine like American Pie when they we're going to my rich dad's lake house. It looks like that. It's like a nice house.
And they get there and they go, what a shithole. You know, and then they go inside and it's all girly because it's the old abandoned sorority house, and they just kind of clean it up and dude bro. And there's a cleaning montage, and then there's a party montage. And Andrew WK was really excited for a cleaning montage and then a party montage. He's like, wait, Party montage? Stop. I'm in it.
Yeah.
He's like, done.
Done. Yeah, NGWK is going to be in it. We wrote a party montage just for him.
Nice.
Yeah, it's going to be great. Yeah.
All right. Well, we've just hit the 2-hour mark.
Woo!
Thank you guys for coming.
Dude, thank you so much for having us.
Thank you so
And
much.
that's all the time we have for this episode. I want to thank my guests Michael Rousselet and Michael Eugene Peter from 5 Second Films. Check them out at 5secondfilms.com. Also, their feature film, Dude Bro Party Massacre 3, is on Kickstarter, and you can still donate on Kickstarter even though the deadline is passed. You can also find out more about their work and the other topics we covered by visiting the links for this episode on our website. Our banner image this week is by myself. Our music this week is The Dorian Menace by Producers Lounge fan Dennis Mitchelltree. Please check out his website at dennismitchelltree.com. We're starting to grow our Producers Lounge community, so if you'd like to submit either jazz music or banner photos for an episode, post a link on our Facebook page. You can like us on Facebook at facebook.com/theproducerslounge. Remember, you show your support for films by not downloading them, you show your support on Hulu by clicking on the commercials, and you show your support for podcasts by liking and commenting. And you can always check out our website, www.theproducersloungepodcast.com. Thank you again. I'm your host, Richard Tucci. Join us next week for more cocktails and questions, and until then, keep producing dreams.